Good day, folks, a good day. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Good to have you on board, guys. Let's rock. And just like the professional did with the cruise liner, we're taking a wide berth of this peninsula because although the end is there that we can see, the rock will actually go into the water and we don't know whereabouts it is, so we don't get too close. Not only that, you also risk the problem of having a confused sea where the current is actually hitting the side of the rocks underneath and then coming back over, and you get what we call a confused sea, which is very much like carrying a bucket of water when it's sort of splashing all over the place. And it's quite dangerous for boats actually, because the boat can't get a direction, because the current is going literally every direction possible. So there we are. Guys, we have company, yes. Well guys, we've got a yacht heading our way. He's obviously not got, although it is quite windy today. It's not big winds by any means, but there are north winds when it's all said and done, because we're heading north and the winds always come from Athens towards us around midday until about 6 o'clock at night, then everything calms down again. But we've got a nice little yacht coming up. He's obviously on his engine. Well guys, there's a very famous landmark. That is the mountain of Stavros. And Stavros was made famous by a movie called Zorba, the Greek, and starring Anthony Quinn. And he actually danced, there's a little inlet there, and he danced on the beach. Incidentally guys, the mountain ridge that you see in the movie still behind Anthony Quinn is actually the same ridge that you see in the boat view. Rock and roll. Very famous movie, and he actually got an Oscar for it as well. In fact, the local guy that did the dance on the beach, he got an Oscar, and I actually saw the Oscar. So yeah, So that's the beach. You probably can't see it with this, so I haven't got to zoom in. But there you go. And you'll also see, like I said to you earlier, about keeping a good lookout. The rule of thumb is always have somebody looking out, either behind for swimmers or to the sides for other boats heading towards you. Always have a lookout looking 360 degrees. Then at least you know you're safe. When you're concentrating on the forward view, you can't be looking behind you at the same time. So if you've got any passengers or a friend with you, make sure that they're keeping an eye out and a lookout for you. There is actually another fishing pod there. You can see it floating around. And sometimes you can't see them with the light, with the sun shining, but there it is. And they can be quite a hazard. There it is, look. Well guys, you've heard a lot about the drink driving and the laws about that, but there's no rules in rock and roll, so therefore that means there's no rules about eating and driving. This is a really beautiful British invention, and it's the pork pie, and Brits just absolutely adore them. And basically it's pastry, obviously. There's the top of it, filled with pork and a jelly surrounding the pork to give you the flavour. Absolutely delicious. Honestly, beautiful. Ship ahoy. We're now at what I would call the Chania Basin, which is a big expanse of water just outside the city of Chania. And that island over there is the Kri Kri Island, famous for its Kri Kri goat. I'll tell you a little bit more about that island shortly. Steady following sea, beautiful, just going nice and steady eddy. We're not in a rush, it's just fantastic being out on the water and just letting the waves bring us in towards Chania. Oh yes. You know, the other thing guys is that if you look at my depth finder, there's one fish there and one fish there, and that whole expanse of water. How crazy is that? 215 feet deep, 3 fish. We really must look after our environment a lot better, you know, for our future and the future of the children as well, so they actually see what a fish looks like. Just going to stop at this little island where a lot of the Chania tour operators and the boat operators come to for a swim. There's the Kri Kri Island over there, the big one. This is a beautiful little island just outside the city of Chania. There's Chania, and there's the lighthouse over there, the famous Venetian lighthouse. In fact, actually I think it's Turkish. But yeah, so just to give you an idea, we're going to moor up here and have a drink, yes, and a chill out for an hour. guys, we're here. Yes. There's the city of Chania over there, and you've got some glass bottom boats there, as you might have gathered. And the famous glass bottom boat is Captain Nick's glass bottom boat. I think he originates from Australia, but he's been here for something like 40 years, and people say he's the best. So I'm not sure whether he is or not, but I know he does a good trip. And what he does do, which is really good, is he takes a tender, a little second little raft, and transports the tourists from his boat onto the shoreline, which is a lovely little beach there, little cove, and they have a snorkel and a swim, and I think he does them a bit of a few drinks and some souvlaki or something. So yeah, it's lovely. There we are, nice little island. The big island, however, is just there. That's the big island. Mooring buoys are great because it's all you do is just pick up the rope from underneath the buoy, tie it onto your cleat, and happy days. Unfortunately, they do belong to somebody else, and in this particular case, the owner, only 15 minutes later after we'd tied up to the buoy, he asked us to move because he had a boat full of tourists. So onward we went, and it was probably a better idea because the north winds were coming in pretty fast and furious by then. So that's what we did. One of the beauties about boating is seeing and finding new places. We'd never been to the tourist resort of Platanias Harbour before. Been to the resort itself a few times, but and it is a fabulous place if you want a holiday. But we'd never visited the harbour, let alone actually stay a night. So, but because of the blinding sun, I couldn't actually see where the entrance was. So I relied on my GPS to show me where the entrance was, because I couldn't see a thing. As well, guys, in Greece, I don't know what it's like anywhere else where you are, but in Greece, all harbours, or most harbours, are actually surrounded by ginormous boulders, obviously to protect the harbour from the incoming seas and winds. So therefore you can't even see any boats either, so that actually makes it even more difficult to locate the harbour. But thankfully the GPS helped me out and showed me the entrance, and in we went. Oh yes, in we went, in 1 foot of water. Well, good morning, guys. This is more my kind of shack. Guys, the lantern above me might give you a clue of where we are. Where are we, Linda?
I don't know.
the boat. And we've got to dip our feet in the water, Linda, haven't we? Where's the bloody end of it? There. Right, in we go then, Linda, come on. Let's get your feet wet now. That's it, come on.